you share what was happening with your body last night. That's what. See, to do prana pratishtha, I have to feel, I can say that, say, constantly I stay in that Sagaja Samadhi. With that Nirvikalpa Samadhi only this body is functioning. I need to allow that Nirvikalpa Samadhi's energy through the body to energize something physical. See, that linga is physical. So this physical body should become completely Nirvikalpa so that it can penetrate into the Shivalinga. So I was allowing that that you saw, I can say, not exhausted. Was it exhausting? If you have seen my face, it was not tiredness. I was not, you see, don't think I was not feeling well. I was feeling too well. That is the problem. See, it's like feeling one with the whole thing. If I say move the right hand, the command will not even pass from the brain to this hand. It will go to all right hands. So which right hand to move? It's to have the prana pratishtha to happen. Understand this much that it was an intense energy process. That's all. And moreover, you guys are blessed you saw in that same state. Usually, I never let people see me in that state. But yesterday I had to come to the Aarti because I have to do that prana pratishtha. That is why I came and sat there. And then we had this prana pratishtha. I think you are the first group. Non-ashramites saw me in the samadhi. Now, usually in the ordinary way, I try to keep all these mystical things under cover. Try to be very normal because spirituality should not be taken as some show, these, that things. You will understand more about samadhi when something starts happening in you. Are there stages of enlightenment? No, there is no stages of enlightenment. How can you tell if someone is or is it? Only when you experience you can tell. Otherwise there is no judging scale. What is Dakshinamurti? And you see the person who left when you came, or you see one of your incarnation. Oh God. Dakshinamurti is Shiva in the form of Guru. When Shiva comes down in the form of Guru, he is called Dakshinamurti. All Gurus are called Dakshinamurtis. He is the embodiment of Guru Tattva. See, in your life you would have had many Gurus. See, having many Gurus is nothing wrong. Let it be very clear that there is an important thing. There is an important problem many people face. In the initial level, some Guru may happen in your life to give you inspiration. But he may not be able to lead you to the ultimate. So, suddenly you will feel connected to another one Guru. He will take you to the different level. So, different Gurus will happen in your life. Nothing wrong. Ramakrishna had these different masters at different level in his life. And it is usual. Nothing wrong. I always tell people, go to all gardens and pluck all best flowers and make a beautiful bouquet for yourself. Nothing wrong. So, like this, you see, ultimately you will feel connected to one Guru. That is different. But your process, during process, when you have one or two these, that things, you don't have to worry about it. So the Guru Tattva, all Gurus are represented by the Dakshinamurti. Finally, you will see, you know who is your Sadguru, your heart knows. You will feel connected. Then after that, you yourself will not feel like going anywhere. Then perfectly alright. Settle down. In the beginning time when you start seeking, if you have that urge to go here and there and all, nothing wrong. Just seek. Your heart is intelligent enough to catch your Sadguru. I just wanted to tell you that these 1.5 days have been wonderful. Maharaj was great, so much fun, yet so much intensity. And such wonderful experiences shared. But we all missed you. And so happy with the surprise tonight. She has written in English. Mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhus sakat tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Excuse me for the spelling mistakes. That is okay. Only if the feeling mistakes are there, it is to be cleared, not spelling mistake. Only feeling mistake has to be. There is no feeling mistake, so no need to bother about spelling mistake. Kriti, thank you for everything. Dasa Baba was an eye-opener. It tells that we can take our relationship with Master so much granted, while it should be based on obedience, serve and no resistance. I must have compromised on each of these counts, but Master has been showering. Thank you for taking care of us. Without this program, I would not have even understood. Please advise how we bring this intensity and make it persist once we are break into the selfish world. Understand? Dasabhava is the powerful method. You can become stronger than the person to whom you are devoted. See, Rama himself need to build a bridge to cross the ocean and go to Lanka. But Rama's devotee, Hanuman, just jumped taking Rama's name. It means what? Ram Naam is much more powerful than Ram. Understand the power of devotion, power of bhakti. Ram Naam is much wonderful than Rama himself. So the power of bhakti, power of devotion. See, with Ram, only he was there. With Hanuman, Ram and Rama's bhakti, both were there. So bhakti is naturally more powerful than God himself. That's the greatness of Vedic tradition. It says bhakti is more powerful than God himself. So God is only an object on whom you can project your bhakti and learn to be devoted. That's all. Understand? Ultimately the Atma Bhakti. Bhakti towards your higher self is the needed, your enlightenment. So for that is only needed. God is an object used outside so that you can learn how to be devoted. Then you can be devoted to the self. That is why in India, all over India, if you see, Hanuman temples are 3 times more than Rama temples. Just devotion. Hanuman temples are 3 times more than Rama temples. And Rama became more popular because of Hanuman, I think. Just like Ramakrishna became popular because of Vivekananda. Rama became popular because of Hanuman. Yesterday at the temple Deepam function, I had a divine experience, the shower of intense energy. Because I was sitting there, naturally, so many things would have started happening. I was there in the Aarti when suddenly intense energy in the upper neck and head area which covered the whole body. I could not move for a long time. After around 2.5 hours, I tried to walk back. I had difficulty in walking. I think you also had my experience. And difficulty in raising my hands. Thank you for an amazing experience. Naveen. Good. Not my level, maybe at least. See, the body gets settled a lot more. My body has settled a lot more. So, but it was starting happening now. Yesterday in the temple you were in a different state. Were you in Matru Bhava? It's a state beyond Bhavas. That's what I was saying there. You have seen the ultimate energy with open eyes, bare eyes. That's all I can say. You have seen the ultimate happening with the bare eyes. You see, now you can't see me with bare eyes. If you are whatever you are seeing is not the ultimate. But yesterday what you saw is the ultimate. Now I have covered many things which you can't see with your open eyes. If you see with that intensity or seeing through the seer, you will be able to see. But what you saw yesterday with open, simple eyes, you have seen what needs to be seen. Instead of me describing what is that state, if you just sat in that presence, in that moment, you know what is happening in you based on that, you know. Can you say something about need for patience when difficult situations arise, when we are hungry for some reassurance from you? See, your hunger is also not honest. You can see whether it's a kind of a feeling. Who put this question? It's more psychological, man. You understand? It's not honest. When the time comes, what happens? You feel like eating. And if you are busy with something, even if the time comes you don't know, it means what? It's not physical. It's more, for example, you used to eat every day 2 o'clock. One day you are caught in some work, really which you enjoy. Till night, till 3 o'clock, you didn't even bother about the food, you didn't even remember. Suddenly, the moment you know it's 3 o'clock, you will feel the hunger. Only when you know the time, you will start feeling. So it's more psychological. Just understand it's psychological, the problem will be solved. Each Bhava meditation has been so powerful. It's your blessing that we are able to raise our consciousness in these ways and relate from a completely different experience and expression. Thank you. Would you say a few words about Bhavas? Do we go with one that we connected with most, or let all flower in us in our day-to-day life? One thing, any Bhava comes to you, any Bhava you feel deeply connected, go with that Bhava, but don't say no to other Bhavas. It's not like a watertight compartment. At some time you will feel like a father, sometime you will feel like a mother, sometime you will feel like more like a child. Anyway, you see, you will have undercurrent, there will be one Bhava. But any Bhava comes and goes, you don't have to say no to it. But Madhura Bhava has nothing to do with body, understand. It is something to do with deeper than the body. It's a being. It's a whole consciousness connecting. Understand the Bhagavata again. Bhagavata is the ultimate scripture for Madhura Bhava. The moment I say Bhagavata, so much is coming up. There's traffic jam in the throat. All right, I'll answer. Radha says, the Gopikas are saying, Radha is much more than Krishna, because in Krishna only Krishna is there. In Radha, Krishna is also there, because her strong connection with Krishna, she has become two in one. That is why the whole Vrindavan, if you go, Radha is more important than Krishna. The whole Vrindavan, even the milkman, the person who puts the newspaper, everybody will say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. In every house they will keep the, only Radhe Radhe will be painted. Not Krishna. Raseshwari. That strength of Madhura Bhava, the power of Madhura Bhava is such. See, if you, the description goes, if Radha is in ecstasy only when she sees Krishna's body, then it is separate. Radha is in Mahabhava, in continuous ecstasy, because Krishna, the Madhura Bhava does not need a person. You understand? Madhura Bhava does not need the physical form. That's why she is continuously in ecstasy. Because of that, Krishna is also there inside Radha. Radha is much more than Krishna. Because Radha doesn't need Krishna. It's beyond body. He will explain tomorrow. I don't want to take about Bhava. Let him explain. That fellow will talk about Madhura Bhava beautifully. Because he himself was in that Bhava only with me. Each fellow enjoys one Bhava. He will talk about Madhura Bhava beautifully. Each Bhava, he will tell like that only. He has to be decent, man. Tomorrow he can't hide. Now you guys can ask what Swamiji is telling. During the meditation where he had to look into each other's eyes, the person in front of him began to disappear until there was a complete void where the lady was sitting. Beautiful. Good meditation. Matthew, good experience. I could see everything around her but not her, and my eyes were wide open. Her eyes would pierce through the void and she would reappear. It's like when you see through the seer, the scene disappears. That's all. Thank you so much for this extraordinary experience. Words cannot describe my gratitude for this great blessing you have showered on us. I just wanted to express my eternal gratitude. Sarita. Who? Okay. Do you speak to us through inner voice? I wonder if this is you or my fantasizing about it being you. No. I never speak through your inner voice and all. Don't listen to your inner voice. You see, I'll come as a sharp, intelligent logic. For example, if you go travel now, you will have an accident. This is an example. Don't think there will be voice inside you. Don't travel, you will have an accident. No. You will suddenly see your logic itself takes the decision not to go. There won't be any two conflict. Simply your logic will decide not to go. That is what is my voice. Don't think inner voice will be a separate. Then you will become schizophrenia. Now I have seen people having this kind of misguidance. And they think there will be some special separate voice will be heard. No, don't fantasize all those things. I'll be the sharp part of your logic. I'll be the sharp intelligence of you. So you will take the decision without conflict. I'll be that part. All of you understand what I am saying? Because we have a very wrong opinion about this inner voice. Especially in the West, some channelizing, all kinds of nonsense goes on. So when I happen in you, I'll sharpen your logic and intelligence. You will take a right decision without having inner conflicts. Then understand you have an inner voice. I am there. Don't think there will be one voice saying, don't go, you will have an accident. Then your mind will say, no, I have to go, my job is there. And you will come to a conclusion, no, inner voice said, I will not go. No, it will not happen in that way. So be very clear. It will happen as a sharp logical decision. You will have a very clear sharp logic. If I invest here, it will be this. If I go, I think it's not going to work out. You will have a clear intelligence and the decision will come. There won't be inner conflict. All of you understand the difference between what you think about inner voice, and usually from the young age we are habituated to talk to God and talk for God. No, real. Talk to God and talk for God. I have seen many people, oh Venkateshwara, give me money. Oh, you are saying I will, and they will talk, I will give you the money, put 10% in undi. Okay, all right, as you say, I will put 10% in undi. But why don't you deduct the 10% and give me the remaining by yourself, even if you don't believe. So we are habituated. Now we are habituated to talk for us and talk for God. So don't think inner voice will be like the dialogue. No. I'll be a clear, utter, intelligent fulfillment in you as an inner voice. Suddenly you see the decision is non-controversial, unquestioned by your logic. Non-controversial and unquestioned by your being. That's all. Then it's your inner voice. So anything, if you can question or create a controversy, it's not inner voice. Any inner voice comes, try to create a controversy. If you are able to, then it's not inner voice. Forget about it. All of you understand? That's the inner voice. Otherwise, if you are caught with some other idea, you will be fantasizing, hallucinating. Oh, God is jumping on me, He is talking to me, He is telling me it is right, and half an hour after He will tell you it is wrong. And all kinds of the borderline personalities. No, that is a problem. If psychiatric doctors, they know this word. It's borderline personalities. Appa. They will come and see, all kinds of people will come. See, like an enlightened person is a Shiva. All bhuta, preta, unfit, outfit, all dropouts, everything will gather around him. No, it's a usual thing. Vishnu is very choosy. All the Apsaras, Rambas, Indra, Devata, Menaka, Urvasi, all these guys only will gather in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is never described with bhutas and pretas. But Kailash, Baba. Wonderful. There's one more experience. My experience over these past 2 days have been intense. I have felt fire burning and cracking my coconut shell. Initially I was in extreme pain, realizing that my life has been a lot of fantasy. I felt burnt out, my ego hanging from a shredded thread. But now the juice from the coconut is beginning to overflow. And I seem to be in a new space of witnessing my interactions, yet with overflowing love and bliss. Wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful darshan last night. It was the most beautiful experience I had. What an auspicious day for enlightenment. I will really feel blessed and with much gratitude from my entire being. Thank you. Wonderful. We are trying to connect to you in so many ways. Please tell us who you are. Connect and see, that's all. What's your nature? Nature is my nature, that's all. Actually, when you grow, your understanding about me will grow. See, I don't want to make any statement about me. It'll look like a promoting, or I always tell people, I don't want to say Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. I want to prove Tattvamasi, you are God, so that you will understand who is me. That's all. Let me give the experience of Tattvamasi. You are that. You are God. Then you will understand with whom you are sitting. Otherwise, straight away saying, my words won't work for me. My work will speak for me. Thanks for the surprise session. The experiences through the various bhavas were steadily guiding me towards your divinity. With decreasing form as we proceeded, I was able to perceive the energy within the form. It was an exhilarating experience. Thank you so much for your love, friendship and caring towards us. Actually, I can say my his Dasabhava, his connection with me has grown to that depth. He was able to drop everything else. So means I occupied that space also. I fulfilled that space also. That is what I was telling Madhura Baba. It does not mean he was dancing around me or I was dancing around him. Don't think. I fulfilled that space also. That's all. Madhura Baba does not mean you will be holding the hand and running around and dancing around. Oh God, he is that. Actually, you guys, what you go through the class, these fellows did not go through the class. They went through as an experience. They lived around me and saw every bhava. They felt connected and lived around me with every bhava. It was an experience. That is why these guys are so rich. What you hear through the words, they live. Yesterday morning when you asked us to sit in the presence of the Master without meditation, mantra, I felt very restless. I had vomiting sensation. Tried to stop the vomiting. The processed food particle went into the respiratory passage and this led to, once the cough subsided, I felt so relaxed. Also felt very good. Is this a process? It is a process. It is cleaning. Whenever I ask you to sit in my presence, just like that, it will be a very intense process. It's like I open myself. It was a great experience to see you in Samadhi. I am indeed very blessed to witness this. So far I have only read about Samadhi. Thanking you so much. During unclench meditation, I could unclench from all, but the pain in the hip area increased. Okay. The initial level, okay. Tried hard to unclench from this pain, but it kept increasing. I never. Oh, if you have never felt such a pain, means it is going out. It's erupting out. J? It's okay. Erupting out. Unclenching from the boredom is the ultimate unclenching. That is the ultimate unclenching. We will work on this after when you have the Mahadiksha. Mahadiksha means the healer's initiation. So tomorrow the Bhakti Spurana will over. Bhakti Spurana means that bhavas. Then we will go into the healer's initiation. Then we will work on that boredom, unclenching from the boredom. We have not completed it. It has to be done. I can say when you unclench from boredom, you are enlightened. That is the last fight mind does with you. It's like when the bulb goes, the fuse goes, it will be bright and die. That's the last part of the mind. Boredom. And Patanjali says that is the greatest obstacle for a spiritual seeker. Initially when I started doing unclenching, I fell into the dream like sleep state where disconnected thoughts are coming out of control. Apart from, that is not dream like state, pranic body, prana sarira. Apart from the body discomfort, I was able to unclench from the boredom. Slowly stopped making the boredom shaft. I don't know when I stopped making that. This gave me a glimpse of the present moment, where everything is now and no impact of these shafts created by the mind. That's when I realized how the mind is playing the trick over us and pulling us down. I felt fresh. At the end, with minor body discomfort, I realized that so much to learn to live the living enlightenment. I am grateful for this important revelation. A breakthrough. Wonderful. I once heard that every part of the universe contains the whole. Is this true? Yes. Every part is a whole. There is no part. The whole comes out of the whole and the whole becomes a whole. That is why in the Upanishad, the first Veda is a Rig Veda. First Upanishad is Isavasya Upanishad. The first mantra is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Out of the whole comes. Even after the whole removed from the wholeness never becomes part. The whole remains as a whole. Only when you see through with a logicless being, you will understand the whole world is contained in a small grain. Matthew, it's a truth to be experienced. First time I understood the Purnamada Purnamidam when I read his book. He had a glimpse, he had a satori. He describes beautifully. If you find time, try to get that book and read. Tertium Organum. Tertium Organum. Tertium Organum. You will have a clear idea about this. How the whole comes from the whole and the whole remains as the whole. Can you please explain your bhava towards Devi? Oh God. Actually, I don't have a separate bhava with the Devi. I am there, that's all. I experience Devi inside this body. I don't experience Devi separately. I experience Devi inside this body. Who? Ravi. I experience Shiva and Devi both inside this body. There is no two separate thing in me. Would you explain exactly what is happening when you have, as said in Upanishad? See, I open myself. So you are there directly exposed to me, exposed to my energy. And moreover, you are not doing any technique. So your being is directly exposed to my being. So the real Upanishad happens. Real process happens. Is your energy penetrating us and dissolving clots, raising our frequency? Yes. You can use any word. Penetrating, raising your kundalini or filling yourself. Any word you can use. That is the ultimate happening. That's all. At the start of the BSP, we were asked to pray for bhakti to happen to us. I went into meditation as intensity as possible. I prayed to God for His blessings to experience bhakti. When I opened my eyes at the end of meditation, I felt a curious change in my perception. I find myself becoming a witness to the scenes around me, including you, and the arati without relating with any feeling or emotion. It felt like I was diving inside the dead body. Wonderful. Good, this is also happening. Actually, when that emptiness happens, suddenly you will see overflowing bhakti starts. I just wanted to share about Sambhavi Mudra meditation, very intense. I awakened the Kundalini Shakti fully. I experienced very intensity. After both Matru and Dasabhava, the most. Is it alright to connect? So, you can sometimes connect with one or more or all bhavas. No problem. They are all paths, that's all. Baby breath and mind. Both body, breath and mind. And even consciousness is not it. Then what is unclutching, Swamiji? Could unclutching sometime be like a suppression? No. It can never be. What is that word? Sudha, your question? Who put this question? Oh, another one, Sudha. Be like suppression. No, it's not suppression. Continuously, like the subtle, like the unclutching becomes subtle. When doing Matrubhava meditation, I had a strong childlike memory of Saraswati Murti. I had used to do puja to it as a small child. This was the most innocent image I got. I still have the Murti with me in London, but I am not doing puja anymore. I just wanted to share with you. Wonderful. Is it not advisable to practice certain types of meditation at home? For instance, that meditation we experienced, body getting blocked. So don't practice, don't have to practice. Actually, that Kali meditation, nothing wrong in practicing. There are some techniques, which especially Kundalini awakening, even if you practice in the house, nothing will happen. It's a process. My presence does the job. You'll be just sitting, maybe some ants will go up. Nothing else will happen. This is a very nice question. Can you tell us with a few words how to prepare for the experience we'll have after the completing the program? The shock for the people who will live and work with will be quite significant. Please give us some light on that. They are only going to, they only have to match up. You don't have to bother. You will not even bother about patching up. They will raise to your level and I have to patch up. If they want to live with you and work with you, no problem, it will settle down. Can you please explain what do you mean when you say something is energized? How is it affect us as a person? Does physical presence play a role in receiving energy? Yes, it plays a role in receiving energy. When I say something is energized, the reflection of the consciousness has fallen on that. So it can be used anytime again to connect with the consciousness. Amit, you understand what I am saying? No, you have not understood. For example, if I say this mic is energized, this is no more just an object. There is a life is also added into it. See, ordinarily if you hold this mic and remember me, you will not be able to connect. If I energize this mic, the moment you hold this mic and remember, you will suddenly have that strong connection with me. It's like a cell phone. SIM card is the energizing. Ordinary cell phone, if you press the number, you will not get the line. You will not be able to talk. If you add the SIM card, just press the number, you will have the connection. A spiritual connection will happen through the energized product. That is why the energizing.